Oh man, it's a good day. It's a Tuesday. Today is a Tuesday. I'm so ready to finally get to the point where I don't necessarily have to think about all the little things that I have to think about on a consistent basis. Like I know that there's always going to be more things to replace out the things that I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the things that I'm currently having to think about consistently is not necessarily the healthiest. It's not necessarily the healthiest thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. I believe it does. Wow, that house was built on a mega slope. You got to go straight up to get to the house. I don't like that. I got a 4x4 and I still don't like that. Yeah, I've got a lot of bad habits that I've been falling into lately, guys. I want y'all to learn from my bad habits too. The time I went on a date, went on 3 dates in one day. One date I go on is a breakfast date. Goes cool, right? Just going out eating breakfast, brunch, breakfast. And then the second date was a water event. I went on a water event. You know, get wet, be in the sun, things like that. Third event, I went to, I guess, a bar. They had pool tables and things of that nature. That was the end. This was all in 3 complete different directions of my city. As in, all 3 was like 50 minutes, like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Not that that matters. I still made it all work. Every date went great. Let me go ahead and say that. Every date went amazing. The issue is, when you go on 3 dates, they all, in this case, brung their friends. Their friends, you know, obviously I want to be the life of the group, or I'm usually the life of the group whenever I go out in these type of settings. And I don't want to look like, you know, a weirdo either. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just there to meet people, have fun, and make new friends. So, since they all bring their friend groups, every single one of them, all 3 dates, I had to entertain not only the woman I'm with, I had to entertain all the friend groups that they brung. And man, bro, don't get me wrong, I did it, but you gotta have 3 separate conversations with 3 separate types of people. You know what I'm saying? It was more so, don't get me wrong, the coolest thing about it is I realized like how flexible my brain is in terms of adaptability. Adaptability, that's the word for the day. I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Adaptable? Maybe. Adaptable. That would be a fire word if that's in Spanish. Anywho, so me and let me get back to it. So me and the 3 dates, we all have good time. Me and the 3 groups, we all become friends, whatever, cool. You know that feeling of when you're on a diet and then you eat an entire pizza and then you're like, dude, I feel horrible. Why did I do that? That's exactly the feeling I had, bro. Exactly the feeling I had. Because listen, you in the moment, it's more so like, can I pull this off effectively? Just to see, you know, it's the fun in it. Look, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know that many people that have went on 3 dates in one day, and I'm not gonna say that that's a cool achievement, but, you know, at the end of the day, it is a story, and it's a cool story to have, and I don't feel like many people have done that, and if they have done it, I would like to hear their versions of the story, right? So, I pulled it off, but that's just like, man, it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth it. This was the most pointless thing I think that I had done in so long, because that was on a Sunday, I believe. I believe it was a Sunday. So then that Monday, I was so tired and I worked, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, dude, why did I do this? Like, I didn't go to the gym in the morning on that Monday, and then I had to go to the gym after work. And I was like, my workout, still got to go to the gym, right? My workout was cool, but I got home, I cooked up oatmeal, and was like, yeah, it's a wrap. So I didn't even eat right that day. It's like that just stuttered the rest of the, not the rest of the week, but it stuttered that Monday for sure. So that's why I'm like, to this point, I don't necessarily believe it makes the most sense for me to, have done that. But it is a cool story to have, and I'm not mad at it. It's cool. It's a cool feat at the end of the day. If you went on multiple dates in a day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, I don't know how many people I pulled off. I mean, I'm sure 3 is a low number for many people. And don't get me wrong, I never do this again. I'm never doing this again. I've learned my lesson. Most pointless thing that I've ever done, and I don't need to do it twice to learn my lesson from it. So if you take anything from this video, go on 3 dates if you want to have a story and you just want to see if you could pull it off, but expect the next day to suck. And I'm going to say that's going to be regardless of whatever you have planned. Like if you don't have to work, you're probably going to still have a day where you probably not as productive as you could have been. Because at the end of the day, that's what I really summed it down to, is that was a big waste of time. Big waste of time. Now don't get me wrong, not a waste of time. I'm cool with all the people. I'm glad that I met so many people and I made such good friendships, because that's dope in itself. Because you never know who you're going to run across, but at the same time, cities are small, world is small. Run across the same people very often. I've come to realize as I'm becoming older and venturing out. But on the topic of going on 3 dates, I've come to also realize that having a roster is not necessarily the coolest thing. It seems cool to have a roster, right? Because let's break it down. You got multiple people that you're entertaining, that you're going out with, that you're potentially having sexual relations with, and everything's smooth. But you also have to mentally entertain them, and mentally they have to entertain you. And that's not hard to do, because, a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands. But me looking at my life, I don't have that much time on my hands. And when I do have time on my hands, I really should be more productive with the time, because why? You know what I'm saying? Why? We really don't have time to be out here just entertaining the thought. Let me put y'all on game. Imagine this. When you first go through your honeymoon phase of finding the person that you like, everything's going smooth, you love it all, you're in the moment. It's a beautiful moment. The person, everything's amazing. It's all magical. Everything's lining up great. I want you to imagine, what would you rate that moment looking back on it? If you had to compare it to the end of that relation, as in like the end of that relation, was it a fallout? No? Cool. Well, how bad was the heartbreak? How long did you handle that heartbreak? Are you still handling that heartbreak? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. The heartbreak, if you had to judge that pain, right? That's not necessarily like a physical pain. It's a mental pain, but it feels like a physical pain because you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your chest, you know what I'm saying? You know where you feel it, right? So judging that pain sucks. I hate that pain. That's a horrible pain. Regardless whether you caused the incident or you didn't cause the incident, just going through the breakup of knowing that this person's not for you anymore, that's a pain, you know what I'm saying? So I want you to rate that moment of happiness that you gained versus that pain. And it's like the happiness you gained, it's like when you say look back on, it's like half of it. It's like, okay, the happiness was like a 5, like it was cool, but the pain is like, ooh, that's like a 10. It sucks. So going into it, it's kind of like, this is why I say rosters are not important. This is why, learn from me. Having a roster is not cool. And I didn't realize how many people are doing this and how normal it is, but I don't rock with it. And I'm not going to rock with it, and I'm not getting into the culture with it, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be me, and I don't plan for it to be me. And it is what it is. I got things to do, and maybe if I get rich enough, maybe at that point I won't care because I won't have as much things to worry about, but we got problems. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we as a unit need to conform and understand that females have rosters too, and they are much better at hiding their rosters than we are, and that's one thing that I've now been hit with. That's that pain, right? That's that pain. Like, dang, let me put you on game. I just went out with a girl a week and a half ago. Dope vibes. 2-3 weeks ago. I take that back. 2-3 weeks ago. Dope vibes. Everything went smooth. The problem was she ghosted me. I got ghosted, and I was confused. Like, why is she not messaging me? Like, she hit me up for multiple things, and I no longer understood what was happening. But now I understand what was happening. She ghosted me because she had another dude that she was talking to. This girl done got into a relationship. First thing I seen yesterday morning was she got in a relationship. Very first post on my Facebook, by the way. I ain't talked to her in 2 or 3 weeks, but I was like, wow. Then all you can do is just think back, right? Like, okay, well, what happened? So we was vibing, everything was smooth. Then I realized there was multiple extracurricular things that was happening, and now I'm like, wow, I didn't see it. They're better than us, and we're blind to it because our egos get in the way. Our egos get in the way, man. Which my ego's no longer in the way because now I understand that not necessarily that I got played, right? Because I didn't get played. I'm living life. You know what I'm saying? She's living life. I ain't got nothing to uphold nobody to. But. I don't like the idea that I feel as if I got played. And I didn't get played. I mean, at the end of the day, if her and her man don't work out and I'm still available, you know what I'm saying? You see where my hand goes? Right back. Every time. Boomerang. The reason I know it's a boomerang is because there was one girl I went on a date with. And keep in mind, I say these are dates. At the end of the day, it's just me going out with somebody. There's no involvement. I don't even care what happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm just meeting people at this point and seeing what personalities are out there and just seeing like all the things I guess that I do and don't like. And it's not necessarily that I'm judging them, but I can just immediately tell like, yeah, if I'm looking at you in a relationship aspect, nah, friendship aspect, like I can easily decipher who's who. Not many people get to the second stage, you know what I'm saying? But one girl that I go on a date with, I'm being honest with everybody. I'm telling everybody if they do start to, portray that they're wanting interest in me and that they're expecting more than what I'm providing, that they have to know I'm not planning on getting in a relationship if that's what they're expecting. And usually they break it out and they ask directly. And if they ask directly, I tell them. But the problem is, I told this girl that because I need to be honest. And she was like, well, if that's the occasion, then yeah, I don't think that we can continue because I was hoping that this would be, more. She's expecting more. And, if she's expecting more, then, it is what it is. So at the end of that day or that night, I felt the vibe switch and I just knew it was over. So I think that was a Saturday. The whole Sunday, me and her didn't talk because it was like, yep, that's done. It is what it is. Cool. Monday comes, and then she's like, good morning. I've been thinking. You know what I'm saying? Boomerang. That's when I realized it's always a rebound. So who, you know, there was no point to have ever stressed over it on Sunday, and I would never stress over it again. I didn't stress over it. Let me go ahead and take that back. I didn't even stress over it. It's just that I had the thought of it, and it's like the thought of it pondered on me, which I guess in that sense you could say that's a stress because it's an additional thing you're thinking about, but it's not necessarily that it bugged me or anything. Well, I guess it did bug me, so. Well, however you want to phrase it, regardless. That's when I realized, man, I am wasting too much time. That is a big waste of time. Big, 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 big waste of time, guys. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. You've got better things to work on in your life. You've got money to make, you know. And what is going on here? Just pulled up to my store. I see a truck is backed in, which is fire. That we've got people here this early. That's dope. Anywho, got the Silverado booming. It's Chevy Truck Month. Know your manners. Shout out Lord Wavy. Wow.